Hello and welcome to Sansiri's first webinar episode. I'm Sam House, Sansiri's International Business Development Manager of Sansiri PLC. And today's topic we'll be discussing about immigration and various long-term visas for foreign investors and expats looking to relocate to Thailand. Here with us we have Ms. Lynn Tastan, partner of KPMG Thailand, to give us a little insight on the topic at hand.
Thank you, Sam. It's a pleasure to be here. I also want to actually thank you, Sansiri, for actually welcoming me. It's exciting to be the first series of many.
Yep.
And this topic of long-term visa, it comes at an appropriate time, I think, because if you look at the geopolitical situations in the world and our region, you're talking about, Brexit, for example, the US and China trade war, and with the adoptions of automatic exchange of financial information from across the globe, people are looking at alternatives. And so they want to actually preserve their asset or maybe establish residency somewhere else, or just simply retire somewhere. And there are options. And Thailand is one of those options, because the government is welcoming foreigners to come in to help increase spending, foreign investment, securing hard cash, as well as drawing tech talents into the country. The common tourist visa doesn't actually only give you initial about 60 days, with a 30-day extension for a total of 90 days visa, and then people would actually have to do a visa run. That is not an ideal situation. And plus, the government is strictly on imposing fines and ban people from the kingdom for overstay. So there are options for those that actually want to stay longer. There are 5 options for longer stay. Okay. You have the business visa and the smart visa. Basically, those are employees or expat that is actually working in Thailand through a company, sponsored by a company. So they need a company in order to get these visas. But the difference between those two, so we'll go into a little bit more detail. Then there's, of course, the retirement visa, which you have for retirees. The first visa is really what you said, it is really for the elite, and it has certain VIP treatment along with it. And then, of course, the last one is the investment visa, which requires certain minimal investment in Thai asset, which we'll go through in detail. So, Sam, I think for the next few 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I'll just go through the qualifications, the benefits, and the drawbacks of each of those visas. And I believe that the interest will more be into the latter 3 of those. The business visa, really, as mentioned, it's really for employees working in Thailand. It's common in my line of business. We see a lot, and we assist a lot of companies with the business visa. The issue with the business visa is that it needs to be sponsored by a company in Thailand. So the challenge is to secure a sponsor. So if you don't have a sponsor company, without a sponsor, you're not able to get the business visa. The benefit of a business visa is that you get abilities of a visa for 1 to 4 years, which is great for supporting for long terms. It leads to it's a prerequisite for eligibility for work permit. In Thailand, having a business visa it just allows you to enter and exit the country. But to work, you have to have a work permit to legally work. And so this business visa is a prerequisite. It leads to the eligibility of a work permit. This business visa is extended to family members, like immediate family members. They will get a dependent visa, which is called a non-immigrant visa. There's a need to actually support of family relationship. For example, is that for the spouse, they must be both legally married. Thailand doesn't recognize same-sex marriage or common household marriage like other countries. For the children, it can be legitimate or adopted children, and the children has to actually be residing with the visa holder as a dependent. It has to be less than 20-year-olds. So the challenge with the business visa is basically documentation. In Thailand, there's tons of documentations. One of them would be, required from the individuals to prove their education as well as working experience, in hoping to transfer that knowledge to the Thai nationals. And of course, documentation from the company, of the sponsoring company, whether it be a tax return to prove it that they do have the means to support the visa. Then we go into what's called the Smart Visa. The Smart Visa was recently introduced to support or realize Thailand 4.0 vision, policy to transfer manufacturing economy to a more innovative research and development country. And so it's trying to attract highly skilled employees, executives, investors, and startup entrepreneurs to work or invest in a company that is more in a targeted industry. It's known as the S-curve industry. You can see that there's about 13 of them that are listed there on the screen. So the perks of the Smart Visa is really good because, before I go into the perks itself, there's different types. There's about 4 types of the Smart Visa. It ranges from highly skilled individuals to executives, investors, and startup entrepreneurs. Now, each of them has different criteria for each of the category. But the key in this Smart Visa, just like in the business visa, the sponsoring company must be designated or endorsed by in the target industry. So it has to be endorsed by the relevant government to get the visa. Okay. Now you would like this because the benefit of the Smart Visa is huge. You get a multiple entry visa for 4 years, literally. So you don't have to worry about coming in, and renewing every year. But you get a 4-year multiple entry. You can come in any time you like. This one allow the individuals to work without requiring a work permit. So one less documents to worry about. Now, even if anybody who has, a visa, a valid visa to stay, if they stay long term, they have to do a 90-day reporting. And so if they're staying consecutively for 90 days, they have to report of their place of residence in Thailand. And it usually would be counted as the last time they came into the entry into the country. But with the Smart Visa, it extended to 1 year. Okay, so less process for the holder to think about. And this benefit extends to family member. Okay. And I really like this because the spouse who's under this benefit will be able to work without a work permit. The spouse doesn't actually need to work in the same S-curve industry. It could actually be in any other industry as long as it's not in the prohibited professions or occupations put by expat. The drawback to the Smart Visa is that it's restricted to 13 S-curve industries, which can be limited, and then also endorsed by different government parties. So it can be very restricted to getting approval under the Smart Visa, but if you can get and qualify for it, it's a plus in itself. So we are aware that there are numbers of a Smart Visa that has been issued. It's just a matter of, you need to actually go and apply for it if you qualify. And then there's the retirement visa. Retirement visa is what the name stands for. It's targeted for retiree, just not like you and I, Sam. It aims to act for people that is 50 years and older. Now, for retirees, they have to demonstrate that they are financially independent to live in the country. And one of the things you could prove is that you have a monthly pension income of no less than 65,000 baht a year, a month. And it has to be certified by the embassy. Or they can actually deposit at least 800,000 Thai baht into a Thai bank account 2 months prior to the filing date. But they actually have to leave it there for 3 months after the visa is granted. Something that's new just came up is that they also have to retain a minimum balance in the account of 400,000 baht. This is just to ensure that the individuals is not a burden to the Thai government or its people during their stay in Thailand. So if you have a spouse who is also retiring, the individual would actually show the minimum balance. And if there's a joint bank account, the joint bank account will have to have a deposit of 1.6 million. The benefit is 1 year extension, 1 year visa. Of course, the age, the restrictions is there. Okay. The process is very simple if you are financially sound to live long-term here. Okay. Then there's the elite visa. Okay. The elite visa basically allows one to live long and enjoy in Thailand for 20 years with comprehensive service. How do you qualify for that? You have to buy into the membership. And there's 7 tiers of membership, ranging from easy access to ultimate privilege. So the variations, the benefit and cost different from each of the package. But have you heard of, the slogan, membership has its privilege now? Well, it applies true to elite visa because it has its major benefits. You get a visa for 5 years, and it extends every 5 years up to 20 years, and it's multiple entry. Right? You get VIP greetings at the arrival and departure, and you also get the government concierge, where it assists you with immigration process, with your applications, and the 90-day reporting. It even help you to open a bank account if you need to, as well as obtain a driver's license. And so literally it's a hassle-free visa where you don't really need to actually deal with the immigration officer if you need to. Well, for every membership, there's a price to it, right? Yeah. There's a one-time membership that ranges from 500,000 to 2.1 million, depending on the package that's picked. Plus, there's an annual fee. This is another type of a tourist visa, but it doesn't support ones who go to work. Okay, and so you're buying the convenience of asking a long-term visa without having to deal with the filing requirements by yourself. Okay. Now, last, it's called the 10 million Thai baht investment visa. It attracts basically wealthy middle-aged individuals. They have to actually invest that 10 million, at least the 10 million, into either Thai government bonds, fixed deposit bonds in a Thai bank, which is a term deposit with a higher interest than the saving account, or simply buying a condo or in a condo. It has to be a newly developed directly from a developer. It could be a purchase or a rental, but the term of the rental has to be more than 3 years. So it is acceptable for the investment to be either one of those assets, or it could be a combination as long as the total investment is at least 10 million Thai baht. What do you get from that? the 1-year visa and a yearly renewal, provided you continue to meet the qualifications. There's no age restrictions, extended to family members, but again, like the retirement visa, it doesn't support to want to work in Thailand. It's a simple, straightforward process if you have the financial means to. Okay, so we just went through quite a bit, with the 5 options, which has different criteria and benefits.
I mean, that's very insightful. I've never heard of I've never really heard of the Smart Visa before. That's quite new to me, and I'm pretty sure it's quite new to most of our audiences. And on behalf of them, I'll maybe have some questions that I could ask you, and then maybe you could help clarify a little bit. So thank you. Let's go back to the retirement visa, because we do have a lot of our customers and or clients who are looking in Thailand as a second home. Now, for the retirement visa, you said that if a client has a joint account, that they should have at least 1.6 million baht stationary in there. On the part where it says that, where a foreigner needs an income affidavit of at least 65,000 baht. So the option is either you have 65,000 baht or the deposit. Now, if if it is a joint account still, does it matter that the income affidavit has to be doubled because of your spouse?
Yes, it includes it because each applicant is for each individual.
Okay.
So you have to prove that for the spouse, both of them has to prove their financial needs.
Okay, great. Also, is there any restrictions for investment visas?
Well, with the investment visa, which is really the 30 million investment, the only restrictions is that they can't, it's a tourist visa. So it doesn't support for one to work in the country.
Okay. Can the spouse of a Thai investor apply for permission to work?
Yes, well, the spouse can request for a work permit to legally work in that country, as long as she's sponsored with a business visa. So her employer has to sponsor that in Thailand. Okay. Unless, of course, their Thai investor, the spouse of the Thai investor, which is maybe the husband, if he qualifies for the Smart Visa, then the Smart Visa can be extended to the spouse, who can be able to work without the work permit. Okay. But the work has to actually be, the Thai investor would actually need to actually get the Smart Visa qualifications. So the spouse can get that benefit, but can work in any industries.
Okay. Another question is, say, throughout with all the visas that you've listed there, is there any restrictions to the children being able to attend a Thai school or an international school? Is there any restrictions at all depending on which type of visas that they apply for?
No, I mean, like the children, some of they are still allowed to get extended to family.
Okay.
But say, for example, that, they couldn't get, the father couldn't get the visa. The school can also sponsor the children, the student visa, which is called the non-immigrant visa for the student. Okay. It is sponsored by the school.
Okay.
In addition, the school can actually sponsor what's called the guarantee visa to one of the parents. So if the mother or the father, which allows them to stay with the same durations as the student. But the parent has to actually put in a deposit of 500,000 in a bank account in Thailand under the parent's name for 3 months before the submission date. So they get the same benefits. It's just that one of the parents will need to actually qualify for another visa.
Okay. Well, I guess that's all the time we've got for the Q&A. Any closing for the audience who's listening at home?
I mean, we've gone through quite a bit of the visa requirement, and each has its pros and cons. and all the vacations. But if you're not concerning about working or age of retirement or that of the paperwork stream, really you only have two options to stay long-term in Thailand. One is the Thai visa, where of course you have to pay a membership fee and you have to be able to recover that. Okay. Your other option is to invest in Thailand real estate, which of course it has a higher financial hurdles, but you own the property. So you're actually preserving the asset, by staying in Thailand. And the information that we share with you today is information that's provided in a general nature. So it doesn't take into account, one individual circumstances. We recommend that you seek professional advice like KPMG. They were able to be able to assess the appropriate action, look at what your options are available. KPMG Thailand has a dedicated immigration team. We have a combined 40 years plus of experience. So we can assist with investment assessment, visa applications, acting on your behalf to go through the application process and other immigration compliance requirements.
Well, thank you, Lynn, for coming and then giving us some insights to our clients watching at home. And before we end this webinar series, please go vote on Slido regarding our next webinar topics that you would like to listen to. We have two options: leasing and resale management services, as well as Thailand tax structure. Our event code is 3747. Please stay tuned to our next series, and thank you for joining our first webinar series. Find out more about the Sansiri projects and our website, and or drop us email, or you can call us anytime. And thank you again.